All right, game two is well underway. We got a Moraxis band and a Rally band coming out from Team Tim. So the bands are very different this time around. We also see the Electrician band, which that one was banned last game, but the Magnus does get banned out. So both the Rally and the Magnus were picked up last game. They get banned out. This game, we're going to see a first pick Moira into a Chipper. I believe Chipper was blind banned last game as well. Gladiator gets picked up yet again into Andromeda, and Hammerstorm into Bubble. So the Legion team picks up their carry, being the Hammerstorm, in the first three picks. So that will diversify the second wave of bans. The Bubbles gets picked up. I love Bubbles this game. The take cover has so many great usages this game. So many projectiles and spells to avoid. So we're gonna see the Cthulhu Font, Master of Arms, and the Lodestone banned out by Team Tim here. So a bit of a mixture of bans. Some of the Strength Initiator. So a lot of the bans are targeted at the Strength heroes this game. We see the Engineer and the Deadwood and the Aluna banned out by Ego Crew. So some of those second support options to pair up with the Hammerstorm in a potential tri-lane with the Moira. We're going to see a Midas fourth picked here by Team Tim. They're going to finish it off with a Wretched Hag. So they have what looks like to me a Tricore so far, or well, not so far. In the end, with the Hammerstorm, the Wretched Hag, and then either the Gladiator or the Midas. It looks like we're going to see a support Gladiator this game and a core Midas, um, based on what we're seeing. But they still have the potential possibility of running a Gladiator Midas dual offlane. But I don't think that's what we're going to see typically when we see the Hammerstorm. We see the tri-lane. But they do have the possibility of running 2-1-2 still. And we see a fourth pick Swiftblade. Uh, excuse me, into a fifth pick Tundra. So the Tundra is not a hero we have seen Big Ego Crew run. Interested to see if this is something they've practiced or they're looking to practice, but Tundra in the right hands is a very, very powerful hero. With that Shiver scouting out ganks and having the uh, up to 4-second um, avalanche stun through Shrunken Head to control the Hammerstorm in the team fights can be a very nice tool. So we are going to see, I believe, an off-lane Tundra this game, and he might be paired up with the Chipper, so that would be a lot of burst damage if they're able to jump on the Moira in the early laning phase, for example, with the Cold Shoulder and the Rockets. We'll probably see Andromeda and Swiftblade in the short lane, but we could still see a tri-lane come out between Andromeda, Chipper, and Swiftblade. It's not the absolute scariest tri-lane, but they could choose to run Tundra solo short, where he could be... Well, if he does end up going against the Hammerstorm tri-lane, that will not be good, but he could end up going against either a solo Gladiator or a solo Midas. So something to point out is Midas is being played by their second support player. It might be a support Midas, which honestly I'm not a big fan of. So they might just end up doing a Gladiator Midas double offlane. We'll see how this ends up playing out as we are sitting in a pause. Anyway, we are going to see, at least this time they are running... Well, actually, they ran the double core last game with the... drawing a blank here. They ran the Berserker and the Gunblade. This time they are going to run the Hag with the Hammerstorm. Pineapple pizza is an abomination. Alright, you're getting timed out for what's the default? 10 minutes? You're getting a 10-minute timeout because I love pineapple pizza. I'm gonna let you think about what you just said. That genuinely upsets me. And since it's my stream, my rules go. I like pineapple pizza. Okay, we're gonna reward people who like pineapple pizza. Add points. 200. Why so serious? Okay. Use them wisely. Wait, did I do that right? I haven't added points in the longest time. Anyway, my favorite pastime after timing out people who don't like pineapple pizza is to sit and pause. So this is fantastic. Pause is my next favorite thing. My third favorite thing is queue simulator. So later I might just torment myself in queue for a long time. So we're underway. Man, am I excited because I like these lineups. They're different.
Someone will get
I get to
the
see
axe.
some.
They can move again.
They can move again. Exactly. That's a Sapphire joke because I've been playing Sapphire lately. Thank you for the sub. 2 months only. How the heck is it only 2 months? Anyway, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Hammerstorm Trilane, I think. Oh wow. Okay, so they're putting their second support player on core this game. Okay, so they're throwing the curveball at me. It is going to be a second support gladiator. And they are going to run the defensive Hammerstorm Trilane. The Hellborn team is going to send Tundra solo offlane, and they were expecting, I believe, a mana Hammerstorm Trilane. So they'll probably rotate their chipper away, or what they could do is have the chipper stack the jungle for Swiftblade, where he actually can rotate pre-cleaver and spin down the camps if he decides to go for something like a bottle. I don't know if they're going to do that, but that is a potential strategy they could look to do. If they are not comfortable fighting this Hammerstorm lane setup down here in the bot lane, then we are going to see Hag against Bubbles, which I really like Bubbles in this matchup because I believe you can take cover the Sonar Scream on autocast, which I love talking about the new or the fact that in the last patch auto take cover was brought back. Obviously you can take cover the Haunt if you time it correctly, so that's pretty straightforward. But I am fairly certain you can take cover Scream from Hag, so I really like Bubbles in this matchup. I hope he gets the cover. Level 2. F me. Sorry stream, I missed Bloodlust. Midas did warp away, but he cannot avoid the rocket barrages from Mr. Nuts here. So Bloodlust kill goes to Big Ego crew. They get the kill on the chipper. That's most likely going to be early boots for him, so he's going to have a much more fun time roaming early on. And the pull camp gets blocked here, so Tundra, he is going to be... Oh, man. He might be in some trouble here. Shards of Harkon is going to connect. Here comes the Pitfall. It is not going to be avoided by Tundra. Hammerstorm, he has the stun. And they do an excellent job of giving the kill to the Hammerstorm as well. So it's not the Bloodlust kill, but it is going to be a kill nonetheless, which will give Hammerstorm a nice fat GPM increase. He's 400 GPM early on. And this is going to be a pretty tough game for Tundra. He is not going to have the pull camp available. He is not going to be getting lane control anytime soon, as they're doing an excellent job of keeping it out of experience range. Midas, he's meeting a similar fate here. Unless they decide to push the wave, which actually they lost lane control. They got double archer here, so that's bad news for Hellborn. They're gonna give Midas a lot of XP here. As long as he should warp away, yeah. Okay, so he's gonna avoid some spin damage from Switchblade. He can do that another like 2 times though, so he's just fine with making Midas use his cooldowns. Oh, Chipper coming in from behind here. Warp is up in 1 more second. Midas is gonna be fine, but they're keeping him off the experience, at least initially. And if he chooses to get a little too overconfident here. Okay. Gladiator roams into the mid lane. They get a kill on the Bubbles. I missed that completely. I am not sure how Bubbles actually died. I am guessing Take Cover did not avoid any abilities, or that probably wouldn't happen. So he probably got pitfalled from far away and then Scream hit. Because he cannot take cover while stunned. Hag going to put some more pressure in onto Bubbles. So yeah, I don't see him using the auto take cover. Not sure. Okay, he take covers there. He's gonna die. Or? Bottle sips? He has to take cover up. He outplayed him. Well played by Bubbles there. Baits Hag into the tower, tanks too many tower hits, snipes him out with the shell serve. That will definitely bring back the mid lane for Bubbles, as long as he can get a rune here on the 4-minute rune. So this one will be camped by the Gladiator. He's gonna get a nice spawn there in the top lane. Might even look to get himself a health pot at the shop. He's gonna give the invis over to Andromeda. And he's thinking what I'm thinking. Necesito un HP pot, por favor. He was thinking those exact words. But yeah, anyway, Hammerstorm, he's off to a great start. 450 gold per minute. 34 creep kills. He has 5 creep kills, 6 creep kills ahead of Swiftblade, with a kill advantage. So Hammerstorm's in a great spot. Early on. Mid lane, we see a stun from Andromeda with that Invis rune. Here comes the Kelfield, and Hag is no more. Hag is dead. So that is 2 quick deaths on the Hag. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, we see a dive coming out on the Tundra. He is so tanky, man. How is he surviving this so long? Focus Buffer tried to keep him alive, but wasn't enough to stop the auto attacks. So the team support from Gladiator and Moira proves to be too much for Tundra. Let's compare the suicides. We have 116 GPM on Tundra versus 72 on Midas. So Midas, he is not having a good time. He is 1-1. And Tundra at least has the 11 creep. So he is doing a little bit better despite having the 1 extra death. But mid lanes, recovery in favor of Bubbles. 400 GPM versus 300 GPM. He's gonna pre-rune the oh, actually he's just gonna go for a ward. We got level 7 against level 6. Chipper now looks like he wants to stay in the spot lane. Let's put some pressure on Hammerstorm. Not gonna let him farm as easily. Just gonna throw rockets from far away. And oh, that ward was actually placed after Hag's ward by Andromeda. So we'll see if they actually spotted that out or not. Hopefully they did, because they had a 20-second advantage on their ward there. They also have a behind tower top ward, which I love this ward. This gives vision of the rotations and lets them know if Midas is all alone. They do have swift slashes, but without lockdown or the warp being used, I don't foresee it being a kill. There is no boots on the Midas, however, so Switchblade might be able to chase him regardless. They are going to get this tower kill. They give it to the creeps. which I also love. Hag in mid lane takes his soul trap and the stun from the kill field. And this is what I talked about. I really like the matchup of Bubbles against Hag for many reasons. So Bubbles is doing great here. 450 gold per minute now. They call me Bird Slayer. Guess he's killing tundra birds. So Hammerstorm, he's working on his Whispering Helm. And he's gonna have it pretty soon. Probably by the 9-minute mark. Stun in the bot lane onto Tundra. Time to bring the hammer. Oh, they might turn it on to Moira, actually. Yeah, that's a bit of an overextension there from Moira. Getting caught out by the shards and the rockets. A nice kill onto Moira. They rotate Midas down here as well. Meanwhile, Switchblade is having a pretty good time himself. The carries are identical in GPM. So the biggest difference this game is the difference between Bubbles and Hag. We have a Gladiator in a lot of trouble, and by a lot of trouble, I mean dead trouble. So he was getting a Ward of Sight down, it looks like, but he hung around the area a little bit too long. It's going to be an Ultimate Warrior streak for Bubbles. And he finishes the Steam Boost as well as the Soul Trap. He is in a really nice spot. I'm going to be interested to see if he does go for something like a Spell Shards, or if he chooses to go straight into a Portal Key. As he kind of has both options right now, doing so well. But Hammerstorm, I think he got the last hit on the tower. So Swift didn't last hit the tower, Hammer did. So that is going to bump up Hammer a little bit higher, but it is going to hurt his team a little bit more. Hag, I think, is going to fall again. He does go down to the final auto attack. Soul Trap being put on the Gladiator. Bubbles is on fire, man. Is he going to survive this? He has the Shell Surf, and he's going to pour to it, and he is going to survive. I think Chipper even tried to deny him there, actually. So, Bubbles actually took an auto attack from his teammate, but he is still just fine and dandy. He's got the power supply coming up in 6 more seconds. This Haunt is, I believe, about to wear off, and Bubbles should survive if he just, he should be fine here. He has to cover as well. Is that the bats? Does anyone know? Is this noise coming from the bats? The bats actually make that noise? I never noticed that. Whoa, that's weird. That is freaking weird. So, it's looking pretty good for Big Ego Crew right now. Switchblade finished the Sustainer. I don't think he has any pieces yet to Rune Cleaver, but he might actually have the Warhammer. I don't know. 9.5 minutes, 460 gold per minute. He does have quite a bit of build up. I think he only has the 300 gold. So Hammerstorm did finish his Whispering. He's going to look to start taking down stacks now. I think he has a couple here. So he is going to clean out this mid lane and then most likely rotate into the jungle. And I think he will pick up a Twin Blades and then a Shrunken Head. I do think he will pick up Shrunken this game because there is still a lot of magical damage outside of the Avalanche and the slashes. So he will probably do Twin Blades into into Shrunken, but he might also do Portal Key because that is one of his signature builds. That would not surprise me, but a lot of low XPM on the supporting cast. The Midas only 100 GPM or 100 XPM. He's level 4, whereas the Tundra is level 6. We see level 4 and 5 on the two supports here, and we see level 3 and 5. So they are lacking a bit of experience. We have not seen a good performance from Hag this game, so Bubbles, he's got quite a big advantage over the Hag. But Bubbles should be fine here from the bats. He's got to take cover. And then Hammerstorm, he's most likely going to go here, kill the stacks. Might even look to stack these two first before taking them out. Takes one creep over with the Whispering Helm here. Should have stacked this one first, but chooses not to. And we see Chipper doing rocket stuff. That was probably a triple stack. And I actually hope that Chipper later on gets a Grave Locket because you get XP from stacking with the Locket, and it's so easy to stack 4 and sometimes 5 camps at a time with rockets. But he might not do that. He might just decide to keep up the pressure and not focus on the stacking. Stun comes out onto Midas. He's trying to find a spot to warp. He is going to try to juke in the trees here, but they're going to find him. And Midas is not looking good. He's 86 gold per minute. Bubbles has a haste rune picked up. So safe to say Legion is trying to get some of their remaining ultimates. They need the Call to Arms and the Vortex, whereas they're only missing the Saws and the Void Rip over here. Looks like the game is kind of slowing down now. Hammerstorm is deciding he wants to set up a play. He is Veiled Rotting into the bot lane. This will be a pretty easy catch for a Gladiator. Or Hammerstorm, actually. They're going to spot him out. Here comes the showdown. There are no TPs coming in. This is going to be a dead Tundra. Very easy kill there on the Tundra. Ports come in, but they are just too late. I'm not too sure why the Hellborn team decides to port in so late. Hasted Bubbles, he's going to use the Kill Field and the Song of the Sea here. Port out from Gladiator, he's going to be fine. Picks up the Vestments as well. I think he had those before he got gone on. So, a bit of a wasted Kelp Field there from Bubbles. He does go with the Spell Shards level 1. He's going to even choose to upgrade it to level 2, which I don't know if I agree with that, but this will delay his Portal Key quite a bit. Chooses not to stack the Ancients, which I find a little strange. He's going to make his way back to the mid lane where Hag has an Invisibility Rune. She is still sitting on red booties. Swiftblade should have his Cleaver by now. Yep, so he is starting to work on the stacks, just like the Hammerstorm. He is not too far behind, though. Only about 40 GPM behind the Hammer. Plated Greaves picked up on the Tundra. He is finding a lot more space this game than the Midas is. The Midas is only level 4, or excuse me, level 6. So he is a couple levels behind the Tundra. The Tundra, I think he's going to perhaps go for a Portal Key this game to help the bubbles catch people. I don't think we'll see like a. I don't think we'll be seeing a puzzle box. Mid lane, Midas, he's going to try to land the transmute onto Bubbles. It's going to be avoided. Here comes a swap in onto Midas. That's a dead Midas. And Legion is not going to get any kills out of this at all. So they have the bird here in the top lane. It's not really scouting anything though. Tundra tries to get in range for an avalanche, but he is not going to find it. Bubbles with another haste rune. Meanwhile, Hammerstorm, he has his finished Twin Blades. He's sitting on 1100 gold. Stripblade has closed the gap quite well though. He is 556 gold per minute, only 10 behind the Hammerstorm. And he picks up the Whispering Helm to follow up his Cleaver. The Bubbles uses a kill field on the Gladiator here in the mid lane. Already a Tablet of Command on the Chipper, so Chipper has found a lot of farm this game. Bubbles goes in with a Shell Surf Song of the Sea. Midas will die before the Arcane Vortex can save him. Forge is going to be used here. Stun from Hammer comes out on the Andromeda. Time to bring the hammer. Andro dies, but that's all they're going to get. So I don't think that they're too sad about that. Hag is trying to chase. He's going to throw down a Ward of Sight here. He's going to run into both the Bubbles and the Chipper. Rockets will be avoided. But, I mean, it's not what they were really looking for with all those TPs. Switchblade, he's thinking about going for the Gladiator here. I think he's going to spin this off. Okay, he chooses not to. Recognizes that there was no real danger. He's going to go behind the tower here. Cleave down the creep wave. Does have to be careful though. Has the spin teleport. He's going to avoid everything. He's going to port to base. So Hammer, it's safe to say he's the saving grace here for Legion, as nobody other than Hammer and Hag have any kind of farm. Tundra, he's getting pretty close to his portal key now. Bubbles, he has the level 3. Okay, that's a nice hammer stun onto the Bubbles. He does go for the portal key, by the way. And Bubbles, I think he's going to be fine here. Shards of Harkon comes out. They don't put it on the Gladiator though, which I find a little odd. Pitfall will connect here onto Bubbles. I don't know about that. That Vortex actually messes up the call to arms. That was not the best teamwork from Legion. Tundra goes in with his portal key. They're gonna get the kill onto the Gladiator and the Midas. And they don't end up catching the Bubbles, so that was not what Legion wanted. Tower deny? Tower does get denied by the Skeleton King of Dutch Ownage. So, I I wonder if Hammer will choose to go the Shrunken here or more damage. Firebrand does get picked up on Swift. Nothing really surprising there. They might choose to try to do Kongor. But there is the Tundra Bird kind of scouting around the area. Bubbles, I believe, has he's gonna pick up a portal key here. And Tundra, I think he should go puzzle box, but not too sure if there's anything else he would want to buy before that. Could maybe go for like a sheep, but it would take a really long time. So the bird is scouting out Kongor here, but I don't know if they're gonna get there in time. Rockets are not gonna be in time. And that will be a Kongor for the Legion. Hag, he picks up a gnome. I don't really talk too much about Hag, but he picks up the gnomes. He picks up a Mighty Blade. I think this will be for a Staff of the Master. Don't think we're gonna see a Shrunken Head come out on the Hag. The other alternatives are Dawnbringer related, which I also don't think we'll see. Oh, okay. So it was damage. He's gonna go for the Rift Shards. Hammer is feeling that they need him to be just killing the guy that he stuns right off the bat with some Rift Shards procs. And honestly, I'm thinking that this is the play. I don't feel like a Shrunken will really get them back in the game. He's gonna go in on the Andro. He also catches the Swift Blade. The Bat Blast does do some good damage. They're gonna get the one kill onto Andromeda, but they're not gonna get the finish on the Swift Blade. Meanwhile, over here, we have Bubbles getting a kill onto the Gladiator, and they also, so they get 2 kills off the bat. Moira is going to go down. Swiftblade is spinning, but he gets stunned by Hammerstorm, and Swiftblade will go down. Chainsaws are down now. They're going to get the kill onto Hammerstorm. Wretched Hag is going to blink away to safety. Bubbles is looking for him, but a nice shoot coming out from Hag. So both the carries are dead. Midas is going to go down to Bubbles here. Champion of Newer Street coming out for Bubbles. And Hag is the only one to survive. Gladiator is porting in. They want to go for some kills. Here comes a pitfall onto Bubbles. Here comes the showdown. It's going to, he's going to take cover right away. That was a mistake there by the Bubbles. He eats the call to arms. Where is Hag throughout all of this? Hag is fighting Tundra, and the Skeleton King from Swiftblade is going to help them lock down the Hag, and they will bring him down. So Bubbles ends up making the escape in the end. Bubbles is just way too slippery this game. There's so many spells he can avoid that it is hard for them to lock him down. So Hammer, he was sitting at 600 plus GPM with that death. He does drop below, but he's still doing very well. I think he will go for Rift Shards 4 here, as he can now buy the second level of Rift Shards. Might have bought something, but I didn't see what it was. Honestly, I don't think it can be anything too expensive. He has 100 GPM and he's 0.7. Okay, he's got Striders. That's good. Swiftblade, will he go for the Frostburn, or will he go for something like an Assassin Shroud? Oh wow, I missed that one, but Bubbles ends up getting caught in the mid lane. I guess he got Mana Sundered, or actually I don't know how they caught him. I don't think Hag could have soloed him. Something was very funny apparently. That was a nice portal key by Tundra to avoid the call to arms. Gladiator is pretty tanky right now with that buff, but they're gonna bring him down with the chainsaws. Chipper does go down to Hammerstorm. Here comes the Arcane Vortex and the lockdown. Gladiator and Hammerstorm, I believe. Tundra was in there, but he portal keys away. No. Anyway, Andro does end up falling. I think Tundra will fall now as well. So, Triplet had no TP. This was a pretty disastrous fight for Big Ego Crew, as they definitely make some throws here, taking a fight with their bubbles down. But Strip is going to get a solo kill on the Wretched Hag with the Swift Slashes. I'm actually kind of surprised by that Hag wasn't able to blink in time. That's it's unlike Huge Soul. So it actually ends up being a Shaman's Headdress on the Tundra, which I gotta say, I don't like it. I do think Barrier is good against the Legion side, but I don't feel like Tundra is the kind of hero that you really want to buy a Shaman's Headdress on. In the top lane, Chipper gets caught out by Hammer and the Midas. Even got his tablet off, but still ends up falling. Meanwhile, bot lane, Bubbles gets the tower to go down to creeps against the Moira. He might even go for a kill here on the Moira. He's gonna find him here with the Shell Surf. Song of the Sea is going to silence him. Piercing Shards does some damage, and that will be a kill on the Moira. So, Hag has recovered pretty nicely, honestly. Sitting at 360 gold per minute. But he's still quite a ways behind Bubbles. Bubbles, I think, wants to go for a Sheepstick now. Could go for something like a Storm Spirit, but I think the Sheep is a better option due to how well he's farming. And a Sheep against the Hammer who doesn't have a Shrunken Head would be quite good. Mid lane, Hag is going to run into Andro. He does have a Haste Rune. It's going to take some heavy pressure from the Rocket Barrage, but falls back. Chipper, I think he's going for Staff of the Master. And there should be a Sheep on Bubbles in the near future. Swift goes for a Spiked Bola. And that's arguably the best item they could buy against a Hammerstorm. That's pretty much solo carrying the game right now. Until Hag gets to a point where she's threatening. Arcane Vortex on Swiftblade. Moira will go down there. Meanwhile, over in the jungle, we do see an Avalanche come out onto Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm does pick up the Shrunken Head, by the way, to follow up that Rift Charge 1. To take cover on the Hammer Throw, and Hammerstorm will fall. He cannot attack due to that Spiked Bola. Midas is going to fall here as well, and it's a disaster for Team Tim as they lose 3 players for nothing. That Spike Bola could be the difference maker. Gladiator is going to showdown himself, and well, that just kind of secures his death. It ends up being a 4 for nothing. Only Wretched Hag, who was split pushing on the other lanes, does survive. She picks up her Staff of the Master now. And she's sitting on 1k gold. Maybe she'll look to staff the Hammerstorm. I don't really know if that will help Hammer with anything since he has a portal key. Maybe if this game goes like 50 minutes, he could staff the Hammer. But their base is taking a lot of pressure. Transmute is going to land on Bubbles. Dash and slash. Bubbles ends up falling. Chipper is going to go down. Somebody gets showdown here. He's going to get pulled back. And I feel like Bubbles has messed up quite a few take covers this game, unfortunately. I feel like that could have went a lot better for Hellborn. They didn't even use any buybacks here, so they just stuck around way too long. They end up losing 3 players for Midas, which it's not even a good hero to kill. He's not worth really anything. There's Rift Shards level 2, I believe. Tundra just finished the idol.
Do not question me.
Oh, they scout this out. Here comes the stun lock onto Wretched Hag. Defensive call to arms is going to buy Hag some distance, but Tundra is going to be there where he blinks to kill him. Moira is going to fall as well. Gladiator is the only one who makes it out alive. That might open up a Kongor attempt for Hellborn.
Gary, moon in. I need your aid.
What's Blade up to? He is running toward mid lane. So yeah, they do have 2 gnomes. They do not stack, unfortunately. I think Gladiator could needed to buy something else this game. So this Kongor will go down. That was the 2nd Kongor, I believe. And there's the Sheepstick on bubbles. Top lane, they get the kill onto the Gladiator. Actually, I need to be right back 1 sec. We will watch Hammerstorm farm for a minute.
Dash and slash. Watch my blade die. Yes, I cannot be ignored.
Question me.
Ah, Hammer died on us, unfortunately. Alright, we're back. Was Hammer the only one who died? And he does not have a buyback, so that's not good. Avalanche on Hag. They end up getting the racks, and they fall back. Is there a reason why they don't get the full set? I'm actually not sure why they didn't get the full set. They don't have slashes, I guess, or kelp, or avalanche. Okay, so they didn't want to fight without some ultimates, I guess. I still think that they could have gotten the racks, but oh well. Double damage on Hammerstorm. Well, if there is a time to fight, it is now. And they need to kill the guy with Bola first. They're oh, is this gonna be a big bait? Maybe it's a little too Pepega. I think that bait was a little bit too Pepega. Okay, well, man, if that worked, that could have been disastrous. If Hammer jumped in with Shrunken there. Bird does get spotted and taken down. I go for Kongor here. So Chipper has staff, and he's pretty farmed. He is pretty farmed. Tundra even has almost 400 GPM. Looks like he's buying a sheep. I think. Who the heck knows? Maybe it's a Frostfield plate. Maybe it's a really late puzzle box. Probably not. But anyway, he has a lot of money. Hag, speaking of Frostfield plates, buys a Frostfield plate. Do you think it's pretty solid here? Could they have probably used a sheep instead? Yeah, sheep probably would have been a little bit better. But Frostfield plate is still also a good item. Gladiator is looking dead right now. Oh, that's a pretty nice juke. Not gonna matter in the end, but it was still a pretty nice juke for the 1.5 seconds. So Hammer probably goes for Symbol here. Don't think there's another item he will go. Switchblade, meanwhile. Let the Switchblade go here. It does feel weird that Switchblade doesn't have a shroud, but he might just not go for a shroud, and he might just go for something like a wingbow. Because I don't think Hammer has the room to get a mace. The wingbow might be pretty nice here. I do think it's either a Genjuro or a wingbow. Hag gets caught by the shipstick from Bubbles. Might have gotten seen by the Aurora as well. I didn't see what happened there, but they find Hag regardless. She dies to shipstick. They are looking like they want to go here. Oh no. That Arcane Vortex is not what they wanted to do. Moira is griefing. Sad to say. Bubbles has sheep up. He's gonna sheep the Hammerstorm. Transmute is not gonna connect. Here comes the avalanche from Tundra, and Hammer is gonna die here. There is no vortex to save him. That does he have buyback? He has buyback, okay. I don't know if it's gonna matter. Everyone's dying. So Hammer buys back here. It does end up being a wingbow, which this is the item that I thought he would buy. I like it. Spike Bola comes out, Hammer can't attack, dash and slash, and oh, actually Hag does a really good job there of tanking the slashes. That's going to be the difference. They save Hammerstorm.
Tune in. I need your aid.
But the big picture is Hammer has no shrunken, and 3 people are still dead. The Raxus will go down. Hammer is going to get caught, and he goes down. That's going to do it. Game number 2 goes to Big Ego Crew.